Why was DSM-III crucial for understanding PTSD? Imagine a time when trauma symptoms were seen as just temporary reactions or personal weaknesses. Before the year 1980, doctors and researchers didn't have a clear way to identify or treat what we now call post-traumatic stress disorder. The publication of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, known as DSM-III, changed that. It was a major turning point because it was the first time PTSD was officially recognized as a distinct mental health condition. This meant that trauma-related symptoms were no longer just seen as vague or transient but as part of a specific disorder with clear criteria. Before DSM-III, symptoms like flashbacks, nightmares, or emotional numbness were described but not categorized as a unique disorder. The earlier manual, DSM-II, published in 1968, didn't even include a diagnosis for stress reactions related to trauma. Instead, it focused on more general responses to stress that could happen temporarily. This made it hard for clinicians to diagnose or research trauma-related conditions consistently. The introduction of PTSD in DSM-III changed this by emphasizing that symptoms are directly linked to exposure to a traumatic event, not just personal vulnerability or personality traits. One of the key contributions of DSM-III was the creation of specific criteria that defined what counts as trauma exposure. It introduced what is called Criterion A, which states that a traumatic event involves actual or threatened death, serious injury, or a threat to physical integrity. This exposure could be direct, witnessing the event, or even learning about it happening to someone close. Along with this, DSM-III added Criterion A2, which recognized the importance of the person's emotional response. It specified that feeling intense fear, helplessness, or horror during or after the event was part of the diagnosis. Another major step was the development of operational diagnostic criteria. This meant that clinicians had a clear set of symptoms and timeframes to determine if someone had PTSD. These criteria helped ensure that diagnoses were consistent across different doctors and research studies. This standardization was crucial for understanding how common PTSD was, how it affected different groups, and how best to treat it. DSM-III also played a vital role in legitimizing trauma survivors' experiences. It validated the struggles of veterans, sexual assault victims, and others who had previously been misunderstood or overlooked. Recognizing PTSD as a formal disorder helped increase research funding and the development of specialized mental health services. It also laid the groundwork for future updates, which expanded the understanding of trauma symptoms and broadened the definition of traumatic events. In the context of history, especially after the Vietnam War, many veterans returned home with symptoms that didn't fit neatly into existing categories. The DSM-III's recognition of PTSD provided a framework to understand and treat their suffering. It transformed trauma from a vague concept into a concrete diagnosis, helping millions of people access the care they needed. Today, the criteria established in DSM-III still influence how mental health professionals diagnose and understand trauma-related disorders. It was a crucial step toward a more accurate, compassionate, and scientific approach to trauma and its effects. Always remember, if you or someone you know is experiencing trauma symptoms, consulting a healthcare professional is essential. They can provide personalized support based on individual needs and the latest scientific understanding.